All right, Billy, we are on to the next list here. This being wide receiver rankings, ranking the 32 best wide receivers coming in to the 2021 season. Now, I will say this isn't specifically set like every team has to have a wide receiver on here. This is just point blank the top 32 wide receivers going into the upcoming season. Much like the running back video that we talked about, guys can have multiple wide receivers on this list. Teams can have multiple wide receivers on this list. But before we do that, guys, if you're new, go ahead and subscribe, like the video. Go subscribe to Billy's channel. That will be in the pinned comment in the comment section down below. We're trying to get Billy to 1,000 subscribers, guys. Go give him a subscription. Again, that'll be in the pinned comment down in the comment section down below. Billy, are you ready to get into this list?
I'm so ready to get into it.
Right on. So number 32, we have Tyler Boyd of the Cincinnati Bengals. He's been on a ascension in recent years. 31, Deebo Samuel of the San Francisco 49ers. He's been getting a lot of hype, by the way. Like a lot of hype. Number 30, we have Cooper Kupp of the Los Angeles Rams. That's pretty low for Cooper Kupp, in my opinion. What do you think real quick about that?
Cooper Kupp's pretty underrated, and he's every time we played against him, he's scary. He scares me. So that's like kind of the biggest compliment I could give a player. He's underratedly filthy, Cooper Kupp.
Exactly. Number 29, we have Robert Woods of the Los Angeles Rams. Robert Woods was always that guy where you'd think like he's expendable, but he always sticks around. Like he's not bad.
Yeah. Robert Woods has made a little home for himself there at Sean McVay's offense for sure.
Yeah, he does pretty good stuff. Number 28, Courtland Sutton of the Denver Broncos. Pretty good spot for him. Shout out to Courtland Sutton. Here we get the first, not the first, Devontae Parker of the Miami Dolphins at number 27. I was looking at the photo there. Threw me off. Brandon Cooks of the Houston Texans at number 26. Brandon Cooks sticks around, man. He really does. He bounces around from team to team to team, but he always does some pretty decent stuff. He's a good deep threat, right?
I don't know about Brandon Cooks, man. Depends who else is going to be in front of him. I'm iffy on Brandon Cooks.
Okay. I would say maybe you we'll talk about this list later on in its entirety, but Will Fuller, the 5th of the Miami Dolphins at number 25. Good spot for Will Fuller. He's trying to, make some noise there in Miami. Number 24 is the first Tampa Bay Buccaneer on this list. It's Antonio Brown. Now, I know people for this list specifically, we already know who's on this list, guys, and where they rank. There may be some controversy here, and a lot of people might be annoyed. But Billy, Antonio Brown with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, number 24. Let me read this paragraph real quick. All things considered, Brown performed quite well in 2020 after playing in just one game over nearly 2 years. He earned an 82.6 receiving grade on the year, including the Bucs' postseason run, and he did it in an unorthodox manner relative to the rest of his career. Brown was utilized on more underneath concepts than in any other season of his NFL tenure and posted a career-low 9.4 yard average depth of target. He added value after the catch with 5.2 additional yards on average, breaking 8 tackles while also displaying sure hands. Brown caught 98% of his catchable targets and hauled in 8 of 11 contested targets. Billy, what are your thoughts on Antonio Brown here? Number 24, they are saying, going into this upcoming season, Antonio Brown will be the 24th best wide receiver in the NFL. I mean, not a bad spot, in my opinion, right? I mean, 24. He's in the top half of wide receivers, period. Or no, not even top half. I mean, he's just the 24th best wide receiver, period. Considering as many wide receivers that play a lot of snaps in the NFL. What are your thoughts here?
Kind of surprised that he made the list. I feel like every time we go into a list, I just expect them to underrate the Bucs because, I don't know, it's just where my head's at. That's ingrained in me. So it's nice to see him there. I think, it depends. Are they looking at it, he's going to be the 24th best or he's going to have the 24th best production is where I'm at. Because the only thing, I think the biggest thing that holds Antonio Brown back, besides maybe himself, off the field actions, things like that, is just the talent around him on the team. He's not going to get the opportunity to put up, top 5 production because it's just not going to be there for him. There's other people who can make those plays. So Is he the 24th best receiver in the league? No, I think he's a better player than that. But is his production maybe going to be around there? If it's based on the anticipated production, I think that might be fair, unfortunately.
I would think that it probably is a little bit of both, right? I mean, maybe a combination of both. So we'll have to wait and see. Maybe they'll give us some insight later on. 23, we have Cole Beasley of the Buffalo Bills. We'll talk about that in a minute. 22, Tyler Lockett of the Seattle Seahawks. That's interesting. 21, Jarvis Landry of the Cleveland Browns. We go up to number 20. We have Corey Davis of the New York Jets. 19, we have Kenny Golladay of the New York Giants. New big free agent addition for them. Number 18, we have Odell Beckham Jr. of the Cleveland Browns. Number 17, Terry McLaurin of the Washington Football Team. Number 16, Keenan Allen of the Los Angeles Chargers. Number 15, DK Metcalf of the Seattle Seahawks. My gosh. Number 14, Amari Cooper of the Dallas Cowboys. Number 13, we have Chris Godwin of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Billy, Chris Godwin, number 13. Let me read this ranking list, or let me read this paragraph real quick, saying, like Evans, Godwin endured an injury-riddled 2020 campaign that played a part in him recording the lowest graded season of his 4-year NFL career, but we mustn't forget that what he accomplished before that. Godwin has been the 13th most valuable wide receiver and one of the 10 highest graded players at the position since first stepping foot on the field for Tampa Bay as a third-round pick in 2017. Godwin has spent the exact same amount of time in the slot and out wide in his NFL career, 983 routes run at each alignment, proving productive regardless of alignment. In fact, Godwin is just one of 4 wide receivers since 2017 to generate more than 2 yards per route run from both the slot and outside. So Godwin, look, we know Godwin. He's versatile. He's great. You know, he's like the all-around balanced guy for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Billy, your thoughts at Chris Godwin being here at number 13?
I like it. I think it's fair. I mean, to me, Chris Godwin, we all know he played last year with down a finger, which, considering the position he's playing, is absurd. I knocked him a little bit for when we were talking about, like, in my channel about, like, in the Super Bowl recaps and stuff like that, and the playoff videos talking about how Godwin was dropping passes. But we do all have to remember, you know, he had his fingers taped together and the glove cut out around. You know, he's dealing with a major injury for any wide receiver to have to go through. And to me, that shows a level of toughness, which is on par from everything else we've seen from Godwin. But he's got, like, all of those. The thing that makes Godwin so cool is he's got all those unteachable intangibles ingrained in him. You know, he's a good blocker. You know, he's got great contested catch ability. His mindset when he's in traffic, you know, he's not worried about the hit. He's got strong hands to the ball. Like, Godwin, to me, he's just a good, like you said, balanced, all-around on pretty much anything. And it's funny, that stat is really cool. I never heard the stat before from the slot and out wide, that he's the only one of 4 guys who averaged over 2 yards per route run. You know, that shows you he's just a little bit of everything. To me, he's a jack-of-all-trades, master-of-none type player. And I'm a huge Chris Godwin fan. So shout out to him. Glad he gets the recognition. And, you know, I think you could make the argument he could be a little higher, but he did have the injury-riddled season last year, so he didn't get an opportunity to play at his best.
For the guy to, you know, presumably the number 2 wide receiver for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, to have him be in, you know, top 15, that's pretty good. You can't say that for a lot of teams. I mean, right now as it stands, the Buccaneers have number 24 in Antonio Brown, who's their number 3, and Chris Godwin as the number 13, who's their number 2. So, like, that's pretty darn good. You know, I mean, that just goes to show the depth and the real talent that this wide receiver room has. You know, you said Godwin, you know, jack of all trades, master of none. I mean, he's pretty close. You know what I mean? To being a master of a lot of things, you know, like just because of how stinking good he is, you know. But moving on to number 12 here, Billy, it is Mike Evans of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let's read the paragraphs here. Injuries derailed a portion of Evans' 2020 season, which ended up being the lowest graded campaign of his 7-year career. He finished as the 18th most valuable wide receiver, according to Pro Football Focus wins against replacement, and he partnered with Tom Brady for the 11th most 15-plus yard receptions at the position in the regular season play with 27. Evans has 231 of those receptions to his name since entering the league in 2014. trailing only Julio Jones for the most in the NFL. His career receiving grade in that span is also the 5th best in the league. Evans has made a killing by bodying defensive backs in contested scenarios, as his 4th most catches, 63, and receiving yards, 1,007, on such occasions over the past 4 years can attest. So, Mike Evans, he's big-bodied, he will just bully you in the contested catch game, and he's just been phenomenal. So Mike Evans at number 12, Billy, what do you think? Right next to Chris Godwin. That's what they always do.
Yeah, you just knew they were going to be back-to-back. I would take Mike Evans, like, pretty much up against anybody. For the most part, like, Mike Evans is top-notch. It's funny, that stat, they said he was the 18th best. He graded out as the 18th best wins over replacement last year, and that was the worst of his career. So let's just let that sink in for a minute. Mike Evans, at his worst, is 18th still. So that's hilarious. Like, that's okay, good. Again, it's similar with Chris Godwin, injuries. You know, he definitely wasn't his best last year. We know this. Like, he didn't have his best season, but it's tough because there's a lot of really good receivers in the league. It's a very, like, saturated talent group at this point. But to me, outside of maybe like 2 people, maybe 3, I'd take Mike Evans with anybody. I think Mike Evans is literally just top of the line. So I think he's way too low, but you know that they had to group him next to Godwin. Like, that's just how they got to do it.
We'll see who's above Mike Evans, but I do agree with you. I think Evans should be higher. I think he should be top 10, right?
Oh, yeah. I'll put Evans top 5.
Right, so we'll see who's above Mike Evans here. Number 11, Calvin Ridley of the Atlanta Falcons. They traded away Julio Jones. We'll talk about that later. Number 10, Justin Jefferson of the Minnesota Vikings. He's a good wide receiver. Number 9, Adam Thielen of the Minnesota Vikings. Number 8...
You see how they group those teammates? What is that?
I don't know. Number 8, Stephon Diggs of the Buffalo Bills. Number 7, Michael Thomas of the New Orleans Saints. Number 6, A.J. Brown of the Tennessee Titans. That's interesting. Number 5, Julio Jones of... It says the Atlanta Falcons. This was made in the middle of May, by the way. Now the Tennessee Titans. Which again, I mean, heck, hey, they didn't even mean to pair up these teammates with each other, but they still ended up doing it. Julio Jones, A.J. Brown. Number 4, they just predicted the future, basically. Number 4, Allen Robinson II of the Chicago Bears. Number 3, Tyreek Hill of the Kansas City Chiefs. Number 2, DeAndre Hopkins of the Arizona Cardinals. And then number 1 is Davante Adams of the Green Bay Packers. Now, Billy, I'm going to give my thoughts and opinions on this real quick, and then I want your thoughts and opinions on this real quick. So, I would have Mike Evans. I'd put him above Justin Jefferson. I'd put him above Calvin Ridley. I would probably put him... I would say I'd put him above Adam Thielen. Stephon Diggs, you could argue, should be higher on this list. Michael Thomas, I don't even want to go there, because I don't even want to go there. I would put Mike Evans above A.J. Brown. Julio, I'd probably put Mike Evans above Allen Robinson. Yeah, I would. Tyreek Hill, I don't even want to go there. DeAndre Hopkins and Davante Adams, those guys, those are fair rankings for them. But you could argue maybe four guys who are above Mike Evans, maybe inaccurate here. And I'm not saying this because of bias. I'm not saying, this list is terrible. Like, this is a fine list in some parts. But there's some things that I just don't agree with. I mean, it happens with every list. Billy, what are your thoughts here about the guys who are above Mike Evans and maybe 1 or 2 guys above Chris Godwin?
I'm putting Mike Evans at number 3. And the 2 guys that are ahead of him are the only 2 guys that I might ever consider taking over him, at least right now, because they're real nasty. Mm-hmm. But Mike Evans, to me, should go 3. I think Allen Robinson, I don't want this to come up as Allen Robinson hate, because I actually really think that Allen Robinson is very underrated. He gets screwed by the quarterbacks that he has played with. It's awful. But he's not that good. He's a very, very good player, real good player. Maybe you could argue he's top 10, but I'd probably drop him back to like 7 to 10 in that range of top 10. To say that he's that high is a little ridiculous to me. Calvin Ridley, that one literally could make you laugh. And Calvin Ridley's not even bad, but to say that he's better than Mike Evans is ridiculous to me. And I would say these are two that bother me a little bit. They talked about Mike Evans' injuries, right? They were like, well, Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, they were dinged up because of injury. That hurt their status a little bit. I'm like, where does Julio Jones' injury history factor into his ranking? Because he's way up there. The man he had 700 yards and 50 catches last year due to injuries. So Mike Evans managed to play more games than Julio, get his team to a Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl, put up better stats. I don't know where we factor in Julio Jones' injuries. That one doesn't really make sense to me. Bugs me a little bit. I hate that teammates are grouped together. Like, even Stephon Diggs, Adam Thielen's former teammate, had to be right next to Adam Thielen. Like, why? And Tyreek Hill at number 3, right? He was number 3.
Correct.
Which is where I originally said I'd put Mike Evans. The Tyreek Hill is not a bad player. And again, I feel like it comes off as me just being really down on Tyreek Hill, and I'm not. But Ronald Jones got dinged for being a one-dimensional player. What are we calling Tyreek Hill? Is he not a one-dimensional player? Like, what happened in the Super Bowl when you took away the one thing that Tyreek Hill does really well? Well, he didn't impact the game at all. So to me, that's a rant video, James. Me and you, that's a rant.
We don't have time. We don't have time to talk about that.
To say that Tyreek Hill is the third best receiver in the league because he's really fast and quick in a straight line, and like, I'm just Mike Evans. The thing that I think people really like. And their paragraph about Mike Evans shows almost how little they know, because they talked about his size and he could body people out, all that stuff. And that's really true. Mike Evans is God-given. He's got long arms, strong hands, and he's got that basketball, like, box-out, rebound mentality. But Mike Evans is a route runner. Like, Mike Evans has releases off the line. He's very difficult to jam at the line of scrimmage. He has outstanding footwork and route running technique. And for a guy who's 6'5", that's very rare. That's very hard to come by. And the only two people I put above him, Devontae Adams and DeAndre Hopkins, have outstanding route running, which is why I put them higher. Like, to me, like, Mike Evans gets this knock on him that he's just like a big physical rebounder type of receiver. And while he is that, he's also much more than that. And that reputation is like it holds him back. Because Mike Evans is a complete, all-around, fundamentally sound wide receiver. Like, he has the routes of someone who is much smaller than him, if that's a better way to put it.
Yeah, Mike Evans is more balanced, I think, than people give him credit for.
Yes, 100%. 100%.
So, with that being said, guys, let us know what you think. I mean, so I would probably have Mike Evans say at number 5 through 7. Ranking number 5 to 7, which is, good spot. Billy, you'd have him all the way up at number 3. Chris Godwin, number 13. Is that a good ranking? I think it's pretty decent. Maybe you put him at number, 12 or 11.
Yeah, somewhere. I mean, maybe a little higher. Maybe, I'm not mad at Chris Godwin at 13, to be honest.
13's a good spot. I do want to say Antonio Brown, just put him at 23. You're putting Cole Beasley above Antonio Brown? I don't know. I mean, this must be talking about 2021 production then. Like, upcoming production numbers.
I would even take it one further. Would you take Ridley over Chris Godwin?
No, I'd probably take I would take Godwin over Ridley.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Come on.
So I don't, it is what it is. I mean, look, this list isn't bad per se. I mean, there are some portions of this list where you go, yeah, okay, that makes sense. But there's some of it, too, where you're scratching your head, But, guys, what do you think, regardless? Antonio Brown here at number 24. Chris Godwin all the way up here at number 13. Mike Evans at number 12. The Buccaneers got 3 wide receivers. On the top 32 wide receivers, period, going into the upcoming season, Buccaneers got 3. I mean, that's good alone, right? But rankings are a little questionable.
We should be thankful. That's true.
Right. So, with that being said, guys, what are your thoughts about this? Let us know down in the comments section below. Go subscribe to Billy's channel, Owen the C. We're trying to get him to 1,000 subscribers. That will be in the pinned comment down in the comments section below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you all enjoyed, and we'll see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.